All right, hello. You read the title. You know exactly what I'm about to start talking about, right? Why does rival balance for bad players? Why? In what world do they do this, right? Well, we're gonna get into that in this video because it's going to kill their game. And I don't mean that to be like a doomer, but it is going to kill their game because when you balance for bad players slash casual players, it doesn't matter. The only thing that does is alienate your players who actually play the game like every single day and like enjoy it, and it just makes them feel, first of all, left out. Because why are you balancing over Timmy, who plays this game once a week, over someone who plays the game every day, ever? And it's also that just makes the game worse for everyone. And here's why. So I'm gonna raise you the question: why does Marvel Rivals balance for bad players? And again, I mean that in the most negative way possible. Yes, this game balances for players who do not deserve a spot at the table when it comes to balance. Because I'm gonna ask you another question, right? Who would you rather balance your game around? People who actually know how to use their abilities, or people who just press buttons? If you answered people who actually know how to use their abilities, bingo, you're correct, right? That is why games don't have pro leagues for no reason. First of all, they make money. Second of all, blah 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 blah. Third of all, because they pro league players get this ability because it's not really developers paying them. They can incite the balance of a game. And again, if you don't know what balance is basically you're trying to make the game as complete and fun and as balanced or equal for everyone, right? Since you don't use balance within the description of balance, right? You can't really use that because that's like the card. That's how descriptions work. Screw you. So as the lifetime of your game goes on, you learn what all players find unfun. First of all, Hawkeye. There's Hawkeye gameplay in the background right now, right? I love Hawkeye. I love headshotting people, but I understand it's not fun for anyone besides me. Hawkeye should never be meta. Hawkeye should forever be a pick that you will never need to have in your game. And when you run into once a month Hawkeye and he runs your lobby, you understand why everyone hates him, right? That is the character Hawkeye should be. He should never be played every game, right? Hawkeye, while he is a counter to triple support, he should never ever be buffed the way he is right now. And I say that as a Hawkeye player. And really the only reason I want him nerfed is so people stop playing him in my lobbies, so I can play him, unironically. But that's besides the point. And then you have characters like Magneto and Emma Frost, who kits are so good that they, at a level that they should never be touched. Not buffed, not nerfed. They are the baseline of the tank role, right? But then you buff Magneto to give him 2 bubbles. For what reason? For what reason? Because you could be like, oh, well, solo tanking. How about you buff every other tank that's not Emma Frost or Mag? Make them viable. The thing you did for Groot, I think you went too far. I think he needs to at least have line of sight of his wall, and then I'll be completely fine with the change. He can't just put it in a corner somewhere and stand 15 meters by it. That just seems like the obvious. But Groot, great buff. I'm completely fine with that. It takes away his fucking counter, but guess what? Destroy the wall, his counter's right back on the table, right? But giving Mag a second bubble, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. And at this point, we should know, okay, these characters should never be touched. But they buff these characters that never need to be buffed. Like, right, Hawkeye doesn't need it. Instead of nerfing these characters, they're just choosing to power creep them. But that's not the point of the video, right? The point is bad players are dictating how my game is balanced. That's not how that should go. Because bad players refuse to get good at the game. Let's get that straight too. Like when I say bad players, I mean casual players, quick play players, bad players, okay? Those people should never dictate it because they'll never want to get better at the game. They just want to sit in their back line and press one button and win. That's why Poke has been meta forever, right? That's why Hela will never get nerfed, even though I don't think Hela should ever get nerfed, honestly. I think she falls into that category of Mag and Emma where, she's just her. Like, she is just that character that will never get. Don't touch Hela. And even then, they gave her an extra 25 health on her Bird Escape, which isn't a lot of health at all, but it's still a buff that she didn't need, right? The other buff where it actually, like, goes into her bird instantly as you press the button, I'm fine with that because that's just a quality of life thing. But anyways, you need to be balancing around people who know how to play the game. Tell me, there's a reason why Mantis is banned 24/7 on Pro League, because she is a broken character. I can play Mantis, I damage boost my Moon Knight, we win the game, right? And of course, you don't balance, no one watches Pro League, so no one knows how broken Mantis is, except decent players who understand that Storm's damage boost, Mantis's damage boost, Rocket's old ultimate were all amazing abilities because they gave you a damage boost. And you understand how much damage is already in the game. So you understand that these characters are really good. But then you're going to buff Rocket's ult because people on Reddit were like, it should heal you. No, it shouldn't. It gives you what, a 40% damage boost? 40%. Jesus Christ. And it's just like, oh my God, I would have been fine if they buffed it to where, because back in that day, no one destroyed Rocket Amp. I would have been fine with a health upgrade, honestly. Completely fine with it, where he doesn't give you any health and he just lets your team mow through him, right? Same thing with Gambit. I'm fine with Gambit having an offensive ult, but I don't think it should heal you. And if it does, it should be a single burst of healing back to full health. And then all the other stuff, you keep it, but you don't get healed through it. So you can actually get shot down. You have to actually play decently smart with it. Like, oh, gun down the Gambit, gun down the Invisible Woman, gun down the Mag, overextended right here. He's not actually healing. And it requires your other strategists to also keep healing, right? And that plays into the fact that it gives you ult charge, because now the strategist also has to do her job. Do their job. I don't mean to be, do their job in doing it, right? And doing their job of healing. And when you balance around bad players, all of that skill expression goes out the window. Now, Invisible Woman, right? Everyone's favorite sympathizer of a certain N-word that I will not say. Invisible Woman had a skill expression thing to her. She did, before they buffed her, of course. And one of the simple ones was like putting her left shift orb, psionic orb, on a deployable and just destroying it. Putting her orb on a Punisher turret or the Rocket Amp, right? Things like that. That didn't change. But you know what did? Her shield. Her shield got a buff. She can now put it on herself. Now, before then, you could already put it on yourself by simply looking at your teammate beside you, near you, above you, under you, pressing the button, and then now you have a shield. Simple as that, right? And that shield had a counterplay to it, because it's still out in the open. People can destroy it if they see it, right? And that's good. That's a good thing. Things need, again, balance. Things need counters, right? That's why I'll say never nerf Hela or buff Hela, because Hela is completely fine. She gets destroyed by dive. Her bird is on a 15-second cooldown, right? But Invisible Woman doesn't have that anymore, because now if you mag ult, she can just press F or whatever her button is. She can press F, look at the trajectory of your mag ult, and either stay behind their shield or get in front of it. She's nigh invulnerable. Same thing with Strange ult. Guess what? F. By the eye of F, Agamotto, everyone on your team is going to stay alive. And this does this thing where bad players just get bailed out. Why don't I like that mag change? Because I think the Magneto should be forced to choose when and who to bubble. Because he can't bail out every single bad play a bad player makes. Or even a bad play a good player makes. That's like the entire point of him having to choose. Either he uses the bubble on himself to save his life, or he can save someone around him. Now he can just do both. I don't like Star-Lord. I don't like fighting Star-Lord because bad players play Star-Lord. I don't literally mean bad players, but like a bad player will play Star-Lord and get value because he has so many get out of jail free cards, right? And now Magneto can bubble himself. Like, I can't capitalize off this Star-Lord making a mistake by Mag wasting his bubble on you, because now he has two bubbles. That's why I don't really care for the mag change. But you could be like, it makes solo taking easier. I don't care. Solo taking isn't the fault of the character design of Mag and being able to punish good and bad plays. No, that's the fault of the community. And Magneto's the best damn solo tanker in the game anyway. So yeah, let's buff that. If we want to buff something about Magneto, do something else. Let's not make him even better at what he is. That's the Penny Parker problem. Penny Parker will never get nerfed, but they'll never buff her besides her survivability and her amazing ability to hold every map's first point uncontested, basically. But they will never nerf that and give her more parts to her kit. She is a one-dimensional character, well, two-dimensional. Either you're playing flank Penny, or you are holding down the first point of whatever map you're playing on, right? So when you do that, you lose skill expression. I should not be forced to shoot at what they kind of fixed it with the ultimate nerf, but I should not. So like Psylocke is like objectively in her weakest state ever, which I'm fine with, but I shouldn't have to play Psylocke like an ult bot. I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't be forced to do that at all, because what are we doing? I don't want to shoot tanks 24/7 in Psylocke. I don't want to poke as Psylocke. I want to dive as Psylocke. I really do. And I still do it, right? But the playstyle isn't viable as much anymore, especially in the rank that I'm at, right? And again, this is why you ask people their rank. Because I'm not asking you your rank to make fun of you. I'm asking you your rank to understand where your head is at and how the game is played by your people. And yes, I know that I just said by you people like it was a slur of the 20s, but that's not really the point. But I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. And when I said bad players, I didn't actually mean like quick play players. They don't really care. I don't consider quick play players bad because they just play the game for quick play, right? Or practice versus AI. That's like their niche of the game, right? And those people are probably somehow more into the game than me. I promise you those people are. The people you experience in quick play, my lord, geez Louise. Either it's sweats or it's people who only play quick play. There is no in between. But again, when I say bad players, I mean players that shouldn't. Bad players who constantly play ranked and they're like, they've never gotten above Diamond 3. Those people should not have opinions on my balance. And when I say my balance, of course, I don't literally mean my balance. But I do hope NetEase in the future takes more opinion from players that are above Celestial 3. They're pro league players, they're top 500 players, because balancing over, which, okay, now I'm going to say bad players because everyone that's not those people are like bad players, right? They're playing a completely different game than us. Me included. I'm only Celestial 3. Me included. And that might be top 99%, but guess what? Still only Celestial 3. Those players I just named, top 500 pro players, better than me by a long shot. And I am not saying that I'm good at this game. Am I good? Yeah. Am I going to downplay my skill at the game? Am I better than you? Maybe, probably. I'll take my chances against you 24/7. I'm not going to downplay my skill at the game to act humble on YouTube. Stop it. I'm joking. But I do hope in the future they take more opinions from people that aren't just casuals. Because again, those casuals won't be around forever. They'll come back for Deadpool and then they'll leave for another 6 months until more Gunnar swimsuit skins come out. But I hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.